What's up, everybody? StackingSurfer here, your trusted source for everything gold, silver, and platinum. Now, today we're going to talk about silver. We're going to talk about how long do we have until silver hits $75. Could it be within weeks? Stick around until the end. I'll give you 3 tips. Let's find out.
StackingSurfer.
I think I'm your best friend. Balances in your bank. All right, guys, you heard that right. $75 in weeks for silver. I'm not kidding about this, okay? We're gonna talk about this today. So I wanna hear from you guys. Leave comments down below. What do you think? Do you think silver can hit $75 in a matter of weeks, okay? Or do you think it's gonna be months, years, or never? So leave a comment down below. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe, the bell icon so you don't miss any notifications of upcoming live streams and opportunities to win silver gauze, as well as hitting the thumbs up so more people can enjoy this message. All right, so let's get down to business. What has happened this past week? I've been on the road a little bit for work, but I did have an opportunity last week to stop by Tim Marshner's gold and stamp shop in New Hampshire and had an awesome opportunity to chat with him as well as with Yankee Stacking. And what was even better than just doing that and picking up a few Tim rounds, okay, they're Yankee rounds too, but that was going to dinner with Tim and with Yankee. It was an awesome dinner, and I tried to pay for it, but Tim, he insisted on paying for it, so that was pretty cool. How many of you can say you've had a dinner with Tim and on Tim? So there you go. I tried to buy silver, okay, guys? I know a lot of you are looking at silver and trying to figure out, is it gonna go up in value, or are we gonna have a big, massive retracement? Okay, are we about to see silver go back down to $38, which would be a $10 move right now, okay? That's massive for silver. That's what people are worried about. That's what the charts are showing. Now, the only people that are really worried about that are the ones that are either wanting to sell or wanting to buy. If you're holding steady, it really doesn't matter, guys, if we go back down 10 bucks, because the trend is to go much, much higher. All right? I don't think we're going to be anywhere near $48 in a year from now. I think you're all going to wish you bought more silver at 48. So that's kind of my first thought I want to share with you guys. Right now is a great time to buy. 2 weeks ago was a great time to buy. 2 years ago was a great time to buy. And if you're still waiting for silver to go back down to $15, well, I think you're going to have a rude awakening when you see it at 100, okay? Forget 75, 100. That's where it's going. I'll even go out on a limb here a little bit and say, in this silver and gold bull run that we're in right now, I believe we're going to see not only triple-digit silver, but I believe we are going to be able to see silver around $300. And to me, that's on the conservative side. Now, that's technical analysis. It doesn't always happen that way. They are not crystal balls, and sometimes the macroeconomics get in the way and they change things. So let's start with $75 silver. Yes, it is possible for us to see $75 silver in the next several weeks. Now, let me define weeks a little bit here versus months. I would say it's possible to see it happen by the end of the year, okay? So you might say that's kind of cheating a little bit. That's more like months than weeks, but it's not a ton of months, okay? It's a couple months. But it is weeks, and we could be surprised. Now, if that happens, it's not because you and I have gone out and bought a bunch of silver. Frankly, talking to multiple silver and gold bullion dealers and LCSs, they're really not seeing a bunch of buying going on. They're seeing a lot of selling going on. Most of them, they say that it's about even right now. About the same amount of people are buying and selling. All right, so 75 in the next few weeks. Yes, I think it's possible. Let me give it a probability indicator here on this. You know, the beginning of the end of last year, I talked about $4,000 gold, and I talked about getting to $40 silver. Well, those numbers need to be readjusted up. I think we're probably more likely to see $4,500 gold, and we're more likely to see somewhere between $55 and $65 silver by the end of the year. That's based on momentum, sentiment, some of the macroeconomic conditions that are changing for us, all right? An example is the United States last month made silver a strategic metal now. So that means we're going to start purchasing it. Maybe that's some of what's going on. And we're going to start holding on to it. I think a lot of countries are doing the same thing because they're looking at a potential World War type situation. And there's a lot of silver that goes into weapon systems, okay? So as Andy Schectman has said on my channel multiple times, he's talked to a person that has inside knowledge, but he won't name him, that has said that there's a monster box of silver in the warhead of each Tomahawk missile. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but it's more than an ounce, okay? It's something significant. Military, country use, they'll pay whatever they need to have those weapons. They'll just print more fiat money, and they'll go buy those. So yes, that is inflationary if they do that. Okay, so a couple things are going to happen with these shorts and bullion banks that I think could make a difference on us seeing a $75 silver sooner than later. 3 scenarios are going to happen. The bullion banks are either going to start losing billions of dollars because they are on the wrong side of the trade, and there's just a lot of people coming in with calls. You got to remember, retail doesn't set the price of spot. We set the price of premiums. And what you could see here drastically change is more and more people see silver going long, so they put more bets on the long side. And you also see countries starting to buy up more reserves of silver. That's going to hurt the bullion banks. They could lose billions of dollars, especially for the shorts that are expiring soon. The second one is they could end up having to cough up silver reserves, especially if those are in the COMEX and people start asking for delivery, okay? There's about, I want to say it's 380 or so paper ounces of silver to every 1 real ounce of silver there in the derivatives market. So you don't need a lot of people to show up and ask for it, just a handful of billionaires, you know, maybe 2 dozen of them, if they have enough in there. And you really could take it out. So that's the second one. The third one is they could start to decide to go long, which means that they are starting to bet on the other side of it that silver is going to go up. If they start doing that to cover their shorts, you're going to see the price go parabolic. It's going to go up. We might even see it go as high as 100 pretty quickly. Now, I do think it's possible. Am I betting on it? No. Am I investing based on it? No. I'm not doing that. I'm looking at long term of holding my silver for years and years to come. So my real concern is acquiring silver. If there's a possibility that silver could hit 75 versus a possibility it could go back down to 38, which one is a bigger problem for me? Is it a bigger problem if I buy now and it goes down? Or is it a bigger problem for me if it never goes back down and it goes up to 75 and I still want to buy? That's what I'm looking at. So I can't give you guys financial advice here. I don't have those licenses and everything else. But as a stacker, I can tell you that if it retraces back down gold and silver, and they go down to, say, $3,200 for gold and $38 for silver, I don't think it's going to be long-lived. I think there's a lot of money on the sidelines still where we've had so much inflation with so much debt, and then we have stagflation. I really do think we're having stagflation. I do believe we're in a recession, but it's stagflation, so it feels different, right? You still have to spend a crazy ton amount of money, but you're not buying as much. You're not spending it on as many things as you would like to. And for that reason, you know, GDP may be really high because stuff is more expensive, but we're all going into more debt, and that debt continues to go up and up. My 2 big indicators on recession is Costco parking lot and the amount of stuff you see in people's shopping carts, and Disneyland attendance. And both of them are not looking great. Costco, you know, you're seeing fewer things in people's shopping carts, and I'm still able to get a pretty close parking spot. So that tells me we're slowing down there. Disneyland, and specifically Disney World, have had They've been called a ghost town recently. And so what I'm waiting for on the indicator there, and this is the Surfer Disneyland indicator, since I live close to it, I'm waiting to see discounts showing up at Costco, of all places, for 3-day passes for locals, things like that. I'm waiting to see them start bringing back more of their annual passes. You haven't been able to get a California annual pass for probably about 2 or 3 years now, unless you already had one, you could renew it. When I first moved here about 9 years ago, those were $300 a person, and you could go Monday through Friday, pretty much every day except for in the summer and like Christmas break. Now those are, I think, around $600. They don't include Fridays anymore, and they have more restricted days. They do that because they can do it, right? That's why they do that stuff. Anyway, with that said, I think we're going to start to see them making more offers to try to get people in there. Could it hit $75? Yes, it could hit $75. And it could do it within weeks. Am I counting on it, and am I buying based on that? No. Do not FOMO in this thing. If you don't have the money, do not buy. If you do have the money and you're pretty well stacked already, continue to dollar cost average. If you have the money and you really haven't bought anything yet, I really wouldn't wait any longer. I'd get started now, and I would kind of build out a plan over, say, the next 3 to 6 months to keep accumulating, okay, with the funds you have. All right, tip number 2. If you feel like you need to sell some of your metals, one thing I would recommend is getting to know other people in the community. Make sure you really get to know them and you feel safe about things. And if you're going to meet someone you don't know, it's always good to do that in a public setting. Ask other people that you do trust for references. But you can find opportunities to sell for a little better price than just going back to an LCS. If you are going to go to an LCS, though, I recommend going to Miles Franklin. Andy over there has had the best prices I've seen for buying metals back. A lot better than anybody locally here. If you want to reach out to him, it's info@milesfranklin.com. And then in the body, just let him know StackingSurfer sent you. It's a small referral goes to the channel to kind of help us keep the channel lights on here. The other thing I'll recommend to you guys is hit the subscribe bell icon and the thumbs up. That keeps people seeing the videos. And hopefully these are helpful for you guys. I'm not doing these just to hear myself talk like some of you have accused me of. Sometimes I just talk a lot, but I don't go back and watch myself talk. I definitely don't do that. You're not crazy, you're just early. Okay, guys? So my tip is continue to educate other people on gold and silver. We're still only at about 0.5% of adults that are stackers, that are buying gold and silver for the purposes we are. I think it's about 10% of the country, if you look at adults, have some gold and silver. A lot of that comes in the form of jewelry and silverware. And others just have maybe a coin or two, but not a lot. So continue to educate people on that and don't feel stupid. So here's my tip on this. Don't feel dumb. If you're feeling like, especially if the price goes down and say you bought right now at $48, but you paid $52 for a silver eagle, and the price were to go down to $38, don't feel stupid. Price is gonna go back up. You're learning, you're figuring things out. We all overbuy or buy at the top sometime. And so my tip is don't let it get to you. If people are telling you this is a stupid thing to do, they don't understand what sound money is yet. They don't understand that our money used to be silver and gold, and that was it. And constitutionally, that's all it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be paper or digital or crypto. And so if they don't know that yet, you can't blame them. Educate them. All right, guys, so take a look at these other videos here. Hopefully these will help you guys out as well. And my last shout out will be the Slice Mentoring Program. You can see the link down below. That's where you can see my trades on mining stocks, also in gold and silver, what I'm picking up, and the prices that I'm paying for some of that. We also have great channel memberships that you guys can join. They give you fun icons, access to my cell phone, as well as one-on-one mentoring. So until next time, peace out.